Hi Sagittarius, and thank you for joining me, and welcome to this reading for your overview for 2018. This is the second reading for you guys on YouTube. The first one was for January through June, and this reading is for July. Well, actually the first reading was for the whole year, and this is more specifically for the second part of the year. I'm excited to be doing this reading for you guys. I did an astrology reading for the second half of the year, and that's available in the About section if you want to check that out. I'll explain the astrological transits. Some of them I will talk about as I read the tarot, but I'm not doing a specific overview in terms of astrology here. So if you have any questions, go down there. I also did an Instagram reading, an astrological Instagram reading, and there's links to the clarifiers as well as the reading down below for the entire year. So both of those readings are available in the About section. Also the link to part 1 of this video from the beginning of the year. Okay, so let's begin with the Tarot of Dreams. So I'm using only the higher arcana for this reading, and I'll lay out all the cards and then we'll clarify with the Cosmic Tarot. Okay, so I hope you guys are having a nice year. This is a reading for Sagittarius for 2018. Okay, let's have a look and see. So I'll just turn them over right away. So this is the Magician. There's a little bit of glare on this side, sorry about that, can't help it. But we have the Magician as the first card, and then we have the Lovers. Okay, I'm going to just lay them down. Then we have the Devil. Okay, and I'm going to use the entire deck, so you'll see the Tower and the Death card come through too. The Emperor. Okay, the Hanged Man. Okay, for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is the Hierophant. This is called the Death card, the Faith card, sorry, in this deck. And the World. Okay. This is an interesting position. Some of you may be getting married in 2018. We have the Empress. That came through. You met somebody in the end of December 2017. Then we have the Tower. Okay. Change and transformation happened abruptly. The Fool, you begun new. Some of you went through a significant breakup that really changed the front milieu of your life. Like you were stripped, maybe even financially. Saturn's in the second house, but this is necessary changes that only empower you in the long run. Maybe you had joint finances and the focus had switched over to your own finances. At the center we have the Chariot. Okay, and we see the Strength card. Okay, I'll read everything together in a moment. The Star. The High Priestess. Okay, and then we have the Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune, of course. In this position, that's interesting. Liberating any kind of dependencies. Okay, this is huge. The Tower, huge transformation happened to you in the recent past. The Sun, in this position, you can't think of a better. You have some kind of miracle that happens in your life, or has happened to you very recently, early on in 2018 or late 2017. Hermit, at this through 2018. Sorry if I say 2017 a few times, I'll correct myself. But a few times in 2018, you might spend some time alone, overcoming circumstances and finding your own identity, your own sense of power. Temperance, moving forward towards goals. Very nice position for Temperance. Justice. Okay, fairness and order coming into your life. We have the Moon. Okay. Subtle feelings and emotions, something pulling you back in. The Outcome is the Death card. Remember, this is a 22 card deck, which means that I'm using every single card in the deck, so don't be worried about any one specific card. I'll clarify everything with the Cosmic Tarot in a moment. Okay, so let's begin. 2018 is really about overcoming for you. There's significant overcoming in your life, transformation, maybe something to do with Cancer, with a Cancer sign, or a Cancer person, overcoming circumstances. This is really powerful, making that choice and making an active choice to move forward in new directions, something that is guiding you to make a personal choice of free will. Something that is associated with relationships, with romance and balance within relationships. However, the changes that you are making are things that you've wanted to do for yourself, and things that you have been feeling as though there's a beacon that's calling out for you, a direction that you're meant to go in. Now, this is fated destiny. You're moving on from the Tower to the Star. So you're really transitioning from two phases of life, from leaving behind something old and moving towards that where you were meant to go from the first place. The world is opening itself up to you. These cards are closely connected in this spread. So you have this real coming together in terms of the directions that you were meant to go with or into, and this is a transformative year for you, definitely. Now, this is really opening up compared to the first reading. That first reading is linked in the About section below. You really initiated something new, a new frontier, a new way of thinking. You've definitely kind of pushed your way into a new direction, and you've made certain commitments. Now, I don't think you quite anticipated what was going to happen or the consequences of your decisions, and where they were going to go. And I think that you're going to be faced with whole new experiences. This is the Moon card, and in this position it's really important. Subtle feelings and emotions. Those feelings and emotions are guiding you toward change and transformation. I think that the decisions that you've made in the past were empowered. You felt confident about the directions you wanted to go, and in the oncoming energy you have insight and intuition into different aspects of yourself, the shadow side, or maybe complex aspects of your side of yourself that are illuminating new facets of your personality. New parts of your personality are coming into focus. I think people around you saw this for some time. I think that people around you saw the opportunities, or like who you were before you were that. Maybe you were really tied into your family, your mother, your father, cousins, brothers and sisters, that kind of thing, and someone or something saw a different facet of your personality. They saw more than was there, and they saw that relationship breaking down, and it was a necessary step for you to break away from those old relationships because they were not doing you justice. They were holding you back from your creativity. Maybe some of you had experienced conception issues. Some of you may had not felt capable of having children, or finding yourself in a situation maybe financially limited to have children, or if you had children you had questions about whether or not you were able to afford to them a lifestyle that was reasonable. These changes would have been fundamental. They would have changed your power in circumstances and situations, but they taught you valuable lessons about how to rule your world, how to be in charge of whatever it is that needs to happen to gain power and influence upon your own life, have control in your own life over the things that are happening to you. You're leaving behind that sense of control, but it is a part of the necessary stepping process in order to overcome and to become more enlightened. Now you are really turning inward and looking within yourself for those greater answers. You're reflective more as the past is moving really quickly to the past more and more, really moving away from bad habits, moving away from everything, as this was such a huge shock to the system that it changed your life forever. You really kind of gave up whatever circumstances were leading you into the situations. There's a deep love with an oracle or some high priestess, some type of diviner, someone who is in some way giving you great insight, great love in a holistic sense, not necessarily anything too romantic or anything, but a deep sense and an appreciation. This could be your mother, this could be a friend, a sister, it could be a man as well, so don't hold back on the gender. Okay, let's continue. So yeah, carefully taking the fruit from the world in order to gain movement, and in order to make the changes that are necessary for you. I think that very soon soulmates are going to be coming into the picture. In one of your readings you had the star, I think on the Instagram post, you had the star in your 11th house, which is the card of fated relationships and soulmates coming into your life. And in fact, I feel as though there's this big change of energy that's overcoming you at this time. On the one hand, you have one type of energy, the one type of oracle, which is to do with family, creating life, food and nutrition, is being sort of shifted towards for you for a more spiritual experience in 2018, more inspirational and visionary, more transcendent in terms of the directions your life is going. Interestingly enough, this seems as though is really kind of to do with things of the past that were focused on the physical world, that were in some way, that were focused on the physical world, that resonated within the physical domain, that were associated with making money, buying houses, cars, resources, all that kind of tangible stuff. And that life had failed you in some way, searching after whatever kind of financial gains or physical things that you were seeking was limiting for you, and already you had identified within yourself a greater vision. I think that this was the decision that you were making, the groundbreaking decision that you would turn your back on the physical and tangible life and move towards like a higher purpose. Now that doesn't mean that you're going to become like a hobo on the street, or traveling, some vagabond, carny. Sorry, but yeah. So I just started thinking of all the different weird names. So it's not that necessarily that's going to happen. It's just that you're going to be seeking a more transcendent experience, and that's the shift in 2018. And I think you're getting ready for Jupiter in your first house. Now when the other signs say, oh, Jupiter in Sagittarius, that's interesting because it's the ruling planet of that sign, and it's like a really magical planet. What are they going to manifest for themselves? Are they going to manifest for themselves a Bentley or like some other kind of fancy shoes or whatnot? No, they're gonna manifest for all of us this wonderful world with all these different possibilities, and we'll see how that all happens. But that can only happen when you come to terms with the lessons that you were meant to achieve, and really believing in the kind of stripping down and erosion of faith within the physical world. Like really your attachment to the physical world is waning, and you're opening yourself up into new directions that are more spiritually based. There could have been guides who were taking you in that direction before you even knew it, before they even knew it. It's just the people have been coming into your life for quite some time, and now you're heading forward. Now part of the journey is solitary. I mean, nothing great comes from just talking about nonsense and going for beer. There has to be some kind of personal journey, personal transformation that happens in solitary practice, in reflection upon the directions that you're meant to take. I think that so you need to move. I feel as though, I'll be honest, a part of this energy seems hesitant. Now the full life-giving, life-affirming energy, the tangible world, has already been somehow left behind. Now, I'm not saying you guys are gonna, you know, just completely give up the hope of having children, or you know, give up material responsibilities. I don't think that's the case, but I think you're really focused on spirit, the spirit message. Your work is going to be with spirit to carry forward deeper intuition, consciousness raising, consciousness awareness world. And I think that by the end of 2018, you're going to be making some huge transformation, maybe buddying up with a Scorpio energy to gain enlightenment about which directions you're meant to go. None of it's going to be that solid. All of it's going to be resonant within the mind and within your dreams. There will be a lot of people around you who are spiritual types. There's going to be a lot of like people who are in some way really inclined to think about like the metaphysics of things, and you know, transcendent realities, generally thinking about metaphysics in general. There will be people who will remind you of the past. That I think that the larger pattern that I'm seeing here is that you're going from one extreme into a bit of another extreme, and ultimately you're going to kind of even out that boat and really find like common ground between the two. But your next step in the journey is to kind of step into a phase of transcendent knowing, spirit, spiritual exploration, exploring the world. For many of you, you will travel as well, and learning. Learning takes time. That's another message that's really really important. Learning takes time, and it takes time for you to really appreciate the lessons, and all the experiences have to be absorbed and manifested through the Dharma wheel. In this faith card I'll show you is coming up. So this is like the North Node, which is moving into Cancer in November, which is your 8th house. So change and transformation, really humble in that process. You can't control that process. That process is leading you in a particular direction. That's something that you don't quite know exactly what it is, but someone knows. Someone in your vicinity already knows, and it's the consequence of your previous experiences. Now, if you've lived an unharmonious life, now you have to counterbalance that with being very clean. So clean living, clean practice. Life will just take you in that direction. You'll have to compensate for any kind of liberties you've taken with your life. I think that it's an important time for you to really focus on clarity and healthful living. Sorry, I'm just switching over just to look over. We have July 12th new moon eclipse. Now this is happening right in your 8th house. So this is about this time when this big change happens, right when we're watching this video. There's going to be a few retrograde periods. There's another solar eclipse mid-August that happens in Leo, which is in your 9th house. Change in philosophy, change in ideas, change in what you believe to be close to you. Yeah, letting go of antiquated systems. So you have this break. I feel like you're a part of community here. You break it down, and then you move forward in a new direction, but very quickly you identify a different type of community that's kind of your tribe, you know, some kind of spirit, some kind of affinity. Now this is, we have a dog and a wolf, which is kind of interesting to me. I think it's a dog and a wolf. It's like they're similar, but they're not the same, and so that reminds us that we don't have to be the same as each other, and we can move forward. Let's look at the elemental dignity. So just in this section we have this is all dignities: earth, water, fire, air, all ether. I'll just discount these two because they're kind of contentious. Fire, fire, air, air, water, water, earth. So it's actually kind of balanced. We have another water card here with the death card. So we have 3 water cards, 3 water cards, emotions, but it's really a balance between everything, and focused on decisions that you are making in new directions. somebody made you an offer and you went with it, I think, and now you're gonna face the consequences of those decisions. And I think there's been a lot of teaching that's been going on in your life. There's been a lot of information sharing, leading you in specific directions. Your main purpose is to find balance within everything. Now, you know how I said that this is teetering between one extreme and another? This is kind of like I'm saving you years off your life. Like, on the one hand, if you take the decision to be more balanced now, then you won't have to go into huge extremes. You can find balance now. But some of these experiences you still want to have, so it's your discernment whether you want to participate in them. Now, people want to know if there's love. Yes, there's love. This could very well be a marriage with someone who's far away. That requires for you to kind of bridge that gap, especially with the Star card here. Right? It's anything is game. Anything is game. Any kind of direction, you know, and these could be spontaneous choices that happen very quickly. Yeah, spontaneous choices that happen very quickly that lead to ideal arrangements and new beginnings. Okay, so why don't we switch over to the cosmic flower. Okay, so this is our the cosmic tarot, and let's clarify some of these points. So we're talking Sagittarius, hey? Okay. Yeah, and then you have, this is your position, by the way, and so in this position you have the High Priestess, which came up in our Instagram spread and in the first spread for the year. So how cool is that? We have your significator for the year is definitely the High Priestess. Wonderful energy. You're the Oracle. Now, don't get exploited. That's what I feel with the High Priestess. Don't let other people kind of, you know, I know this firsthand. Anybody on YouTube knows this firsthand, that there is this, how do you say, internal, like, there's people who may vie for your attention to get answers to their life. Let's clarify her first. Your first clarifier is the Lovers. Beautiful. So we have the Lovers here, which is the position of the High Priestess, ironically enough. So we have yeah, the Lovers. This is about family and a connection. It's almost like you've met a twin flame, isn't it? Twin flame, real twin flame, or a soulmate for some of you. I mean, not everybody meets a twin flame. I'm trying to make it so you guys can kind of see the card behind. Okay, so there is this twin flame relationship that is there with you, maybe with a Scorpio. There could be Gemini or Scorpio, but and with that person you are supercharged, like your energy is on point. You're more aligned in the right direction that you're meant to go in. Maybe there's a family or a love relationship and things are more focused, more goal-oriented activities. Okay, so things make sense as to which direction to go. There might be some kind of responsibility to your education or to institutions of the past. Let's clarify that. Something to do with having to raise money. So remember that Saturn is in your second house this year. Financial issues with paying for school, like you need to go to school but you have to save. And I think that maybe for some of you this is the big lesson, Sagittarius. Let's clarify the Chariot. You're overcoming everything. This is the Chariot card, really overcoming everything, going in a new direction. Let's see. We have the Queen of Swords, cutting from the past. The swifter and the cleaner that you cut from the past, the freer you are going to be, Sagittarius. This is the Queen of Divorce and Separation. Like, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna ex-nay out of this place and I'll just move along to something that is guiding me to this direction where my heart and my soul is taking me. So it's greater than your own ability to discern. I feel sort of bad looking at this position. It feels like a good friend is getting left behind, and a really good friend, some kind of important energy. If you can salvage this person in any way, then do so. This person wants to give you a gift. I mean, it's a mother holding a child, right? So this person wants to give you the energy of creation, bring you something real through. But maybe it's a decision that you've had to make. If it's a fundamental decision you had to make, and you made it, and now you're living with the consequences. Here is the Hermit. We have the High Priestess. Okay, so okay, trust your internal knowing, trust your intuition about which direction you're supposed to go. Let's clarify the Emperor. This is a more complicated reading, but I think it's really good. We have the Five of Cups, some kind of disappointment about past relationships, which is only making you work harder in the future. This is like willing to take a loss for the purpose of a greater good, breaking away from the past towards a more kind of, there's more coming to you, and you don't even fully see it because you go your own direction. You make a clear decision to go your own direction. I feel as though maybe for some of you this was honestly, you made a decision that changed your luck for the better, but reconsider some of the reasons why you made that decision. Some of those reasons may be prejudicial, or they may be somehow faltered because you felt oppressed by a certain situation in the past. Okay, and this is going to ease up this energy. This energy is kind of tied into, it's karmic. The decision you made was karmic here, and now the oncoming energy that will come to you will be imbued with the mistakes that you had made this in, because this is life and this is death. This isn't a bad thing and this isn't a good thing, but reconsider making your decisions before you break down all those towers. Those towers can be selective. They don't necessarily have to be, they can be selective. They don't have to necessarily be like level everything, you know. There could be some type of offer made, inspiring you to make preemptive choices. If you've made preemptive choices, get back into your intuition as soon as possible. Yeah, get back into your intuition as soon as possible. And carefully measure out your decisions. This card is saying that you haven't gone in the wrong direction. You're making a change for your destiny. The way things were dying, but the way things were around you were dying. The world wasn't fulfilling for you, but there were things in it that were positive attributions, and you don't want to cut the good out with, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, literally. Perfect timing for that. Okay, so let's clarify this Empress. Let's get some clarity going in that. Okay, clarify the Empress. Yay. Okay, let's see. Clarify the Empress. We have Temperance, so the same as here. Okay, she's a point of happiness. She's a point of joy. There's one. It seems as though you're switching marriages, Sagittarius. It seems as though you're letting go of one marriage in light of another one. You're taking your karma is taking a turn. I really think so. And especially in November, you have the karmic switch between the nodes. The nodes are switching into Cancer and Capricorn from Aquarius and Leo. Some of you may be seeking a divorce from a situation. There could have been a transgression in the past, a third party situation. You're seeking a divorce. You kind of charge at situations, disappointment at marriage, and then a new relationship comes in for you. A new marriage comes in for you in 2018. I don't say it's bad. I don't say it's bad, but it's complicated. This to me feels like lush life. This is more like spirit life. And if you want to live the spirit path, then do so. But maybe a little bit of patience. Let's clarify the Death card. We have the Prince of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Fast talking. Fast talking. There's an agenda there, you know. Yeah, cutting through, fast talking, making influences, intuition about circumstances, making change and transformation in a direction that you want to take. There could be a continuation of these circumstances into 2019, a permeance. You might have to see something through before it fully manifests. Let's see more. This does not quell my desire to know. 9 of Swords. I feel as though, yes, somebody's biding their time. Now, overall, this seems good, but then someone's biding their time towards a certain action, towards a certain course of action that they're wanting to take. What's that course of action? Personal strength. They want you to see your personal strength, but it's not necessarily done. Oh, they feel slighted by your personal strength, and so that perpetuates one type. Oh, finally, there we go. There's the Tower. Change and transformation. You have to change and transformation, letting go of the past. There'll be a decision that you have to make at the end of 2018. Big decision. I'm sorry to tell you, but I feel as though you ran into divorce or separation a little bit fast. Separation, if you're not getting divorced situationally, you're moving too fast in the recent past, and now you're entering into trying to attain balance, and you go in the opposite swing of things, and that leads you into realizing that that direction is also too extreme. And I think that Queen of Wands is really important. Sag, Leo, or Aries energy. Okay, let's see. She sticks around. She's there. She's going to see you through the situations. It's time to move on from a disappointment of the past. Maybe the Leo person is seeing you through. You are going to be victorious. There we go. We have the lion even in the background. Sorry this is long-winded. It just got to be a complicated reading. It looked like a relationship was on the forefront for you. A relationship's on the forefront for you, but this person wins against this person, and I think that you glow up. This is you, Sagittarius. You glow up. You overcome circumstances. At first I thought there was a collusion here between this, but no, I think that it's an opposition. I think that your partnership, your love relationship is far greater than an attack. Maybe you're averting a lot of attacks. Somebody really doesn't like you, somebody's holding a grudge, and you may not even fully understand or know it, and if you didn't watch this reading, you probably may not know anything about it at all until it happens and be like, oh man, you know, this person really had it out for me. The Prince of Swords. Let's clarify that. The World. Okay, you're overcoming that person. That person may be watching also. There's a spying energy there as well. The World is here. You're going to overcome this situation. I think that this is a latent hatred, jealousy. Somebody's planning an attack, but I think that maybe a Scorpio's got your back and you're going to persevere. There's like a deep love bond and a relationship there. Queen of Pentacles comes through, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. I think that you overcome situations, and I'll leave it at this. I think that you'll overcome situations, Sagittarius, and finish up the year in a more prominent space where you have the marriage, you have the family, you have the life situation that you want. Somebody's provided that comfort and stability for you, and you definitely have a good friend, a Leo, Sag, or Aries, or several different fire sign women or men, effeminate men, and you are moving forward from a bond and with a bond. For some of you, you will be in a relationship with a Scorpio, but for others, you'll be moving past that relationship into new frontiers in the world, new opportunities in the world. Someone was planning your defeat. Somebody was trying to plan your failure, and in some way kind of infuse that in your, there was some collusion. And we have the moon. You're gonna have a really hard time, Sagittarius, accepting that someone so close to you was trying to be manipulative. And I think that that's the thing that you can't accept, but you just kind of pick up the pieces and look to the bread and butter of the situation and move forward. You know, that who was there for you when times were rough, who was there for you. That person wants to start a relationship, that person wants to start a family, and you will. So I feel as though, sorry for all the extra cards here, I felt like you needed it, but because I mean the Tower came up, Nine of Swords. I don't want you guys to give me a thumbs down, but there's this Four of Wands. You need to really learn to appreciate your partner, and your vision of them is going to change. And I think that you are in a very secure union in some way with someone, or an energy that wants to be a part of your life. You just need to learn to appreciate it, and that connection is made. I feel as though there's two other Queens of Wands around you, a Sag, Leo, or Aries, and a Leo, possibly Sag or Aries, and they're playing influence upon your life, and one is definitely helpful. This one, she's leading you to success. And then there's another who may have multiple different ways of bringing about trouble, bringing about somebody else's animosity towards you. But nothing's going to touch you. It's just like, you know, kind of like interjections while you're moving ahead in life. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy second part of the year. I hope you enjoy this reading. If you want to learn about all the transits and all the nodes shifting, then please check out down below. If you want to check out the first reading, the clarifying reading, the astrological reading, that's also in the About section. So I will talk with you soon. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy 2018 Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Take care. Bye.